Hey guys, it's Skylar for the Wednesday video, and this week we were told we could choose our own topic. So I did. And the topic I actually chose was, sorry, hold on. I wrote down some notes. Yeah, the topic I chose was, living openly as trans with unsupportive family slash, like, parents. So yeah, in this I'm just gonna talk about, basically, my parents are, and other members of my family, are unsupportive of me being trans, and how I didn't, like, just basically my experience with that, and how I feel like you shouldn't be afraid to come out because your parents aren't supportive. Okay, so here we go. Coming out is a huge step. You know, it takes a lot of courage and confidence to just stand up and say it and accept it. You know, even like to yourself, much, you know, even more with other people, but, you know, just enough for yourself in the first place. So that's, you know, a big enough deal. And so when you do, after you come out, sorry, I have like allergies. And then so when you do come out to other people, nothing is worse than someone, you know, rejecting you or not accepting you after you, like, told them. You know, you've just, like, spilled out your heart and your feelings, basically. It's like getting turned down when you're, like, really passionate about moving forward with something. So it's like, you know, I'm trans, well, too bad, you know, like, I don't believe you, or I don't accept that, just whatever. It's just heartbreaking and terrible. But it's definitely worse, I feel like, if it's your family, you know, the people who are supposed to love and take care of you no matter what and always. You know, even if everything goes wrong, you always have your family, and so it's the worst when it's your family. I came out my junior year of high school. I mean, but of course, you know, I've always felt like I was supposed to be a boy. But when I came out, and I told my parents, they told me that they didn't believe that was possible because I didn't have a hormone imbalance. Because they're both in the medical field, so on a medical standpoint, to them, they thought that that meant that I couldn't be trans because I was perfectly fine and normal internally. Of course, I didn't listen to them. I was like, okay, whatever. You know, I know myself. I know how I feel. I know what's going on in here and here, and this is what's happening. But in turn, you know, that meant that they didn't agree or support me in wanting to transition. And when I say my parents, I mean my mom and my stepdad. They're both reasonably religious too, so, you know, in turn, that also meant they felt like, you know, if I was supposed to be a boy, God would have made me a boy. So that's that. It all sucked a lot. You know, I hated that, you know, they tell me how much they love me and everything all day, but then they couldn't support me in wanting to do this when I knew this is what I needed to do to be happy with myself, to truly be happy and feel right inside myself. And, so it was hard, you know, not having them support me. You know, and after all of that happened, questions arose in my head, you know, just thoughts of, if I transition, if I, you know, go on and transition on my own and do it, you know, will they still love me? And what do I do if, you know, if I'm out to other people and they do respect me and call me by the pronouns that I wish to be called by, or my preferred name, or anything like that, and, you know, they come over, how are my parents going to react? And depending on how they react, how am I going to react, or how am I supposed to tell them to react? You know, it's a lot. And then the biggest one, of course, would be, will they ever come around to accepting me? Like, will it ever happen? You know, like, one day will they finally just be like, well, you know, I'd rather, you know, have you in my life than not have you at all. And sometimes that just doesn't happen, and so it's a scary thought. It's a scary thought for me even to this day. I worry that I'll lose my mother to me transitioning. And, you know, and that makes you stop and question, you know, is it worth it? Like, should I just sacrifice my own happiness so I don't lose my family? You know, but it's not healthy to do that, as much as it sucks. And, you know, I want to be able to say that, you know, your family will love you no matter what, and, you know, you're not going to lose them because you need to do this, but it happens sometimes, and it's terrifying, and I'm sorry. You know, being trans is not easy, and, you know, if you are, you obviously know that it's really hard to deal with. It's hard for me to deal with a lot. I'm doing the best I can. My mother still doesn't support me, and, you know, she lives, like, really far away from me now, so I don't even know how she feels with the way that everything is right now. She's unaware that I went and got my name legally changed. She's unaware that I'm about to start hormone therapy. She's unaware of all of that because I fear that she won't even want to talk to me, what little we do talk right now, if I tell her that, and it terrifies me. So I'm just, you know, she doesn't need to know right now. You know, when we get further along, I'll probably end up telling her before I go to visit them around Christmas time, and we'll see what happens then. Maybe she won't want me to come for Christmas. It's a risk I'm having to take, because when I weighed everything out, I felt like it was more important for me to do this for myself and to be happy with myself, because if she chooses that she doesn't want to do this, I feel it is her loss. I will love her always, but I have to do this for myself, because I can't sit by anymore and try to please everybody else without pleasing myself. It's not a way to live. You can't just be unhappy and just do things because other people, and not do things because other people want you to. It's not a way to live. So yeah, even though my parents didn't accept me, my siblings and other family members did. Basically all of my siblings accept me. They're really great. I love them all very much. They're very, very supportive. You know, I'm their big brother. I'm Skylar always. You know, regardless of what my mom says, even my siblings still, you know, they still call me Sky, and they still call me their brother and everything. And I've even heard my mom, like, heckle them about it, and they're just like, well, that's too bad, because I'm not going to change my mind. And, you know, they just stand up for me, and it really means a lot. And then, of course, the big one is, your friends. Your friends and your peers who do support you. You know, those people who are there cheering you on the whole way, so excited for every little development in your transition. They're so, you know, they're happy because they want you to be able to be yourself and happy with yourself also. Those are people you should constantly surround yourself with. Those are, you know, your real friends. And they're really helpful when you don't have a supportive family. Your friends are always there because they're like another family. You know, everyone is, like, you know, on your side. They love you and they want what's best for you also. And they'll do whatever they can to help. I get a lot of that currently from my boyfriend and his family too. They've become like another family to me, and they all support me and have been more than helpful in any way that they possibly could have. And I appreciate that every day, and it really helps me get by. you know, with the lack of my family being supportive. But basically, in closing, I wanted to say, this is really long, I'm really sorry, but it was an important topic to me. All in all, try not to let your family or parents not agreeing or accepting you to hold you back from coming out or transitioning, because it feels great to really accept it and know, you know, who you are, and be able to take those steps to get where you want to go so you can be happy with yourself. Alright, that's all I've got, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks.